Hello, everybody. My name is John Thetford. I am with T6 Design Co. And today I've been working on a ton of things. As you can tell behind me, my garage slash shop is a huge mess. However, we are in the middle of a couple of other little projects as well. And one of them I wanted to share with you today is using a software called Deepnest. .io is the website, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. But I've been tasked with making a handful of ornaments, and I usually manually just kind of nest everything together to try to maximize my space and cut time and all that fun business. However, today I wanted to give this a try and learn how to use it, and I did find a couple of videos that were helpful. However, I wanted to make one of my own so that way I can kind of show you the struggles that I was having, and kind of go from there. So that way, if you have something similar going on, we can go through those steps and I'll show you what I've done in order to make this software work for me, and how we're going to use it moving forward. So um, as I said, I have been tasked with making some ornaments for a little job, and I want to maximize the material that we have. So let me pull up LightBurn right here. And all these are just some simple shapes that we'll be cutting out of some 1/8" birch, for some folks that are going to be using these to put on the little diamond painter um, items on here to decorate these guys. And as you can tell, they're varying shapes. However, I did try to keep them within about 3 inches wide, give or take. However, some of these are a little taller. So, you know, they're going to vary slightly in their size as far as height and width. And I have been tasked with doing 5 each of these, which I've already got the file, or designs rather, all done up. So what we're going to do is I was trying to figure out how to nest these things, and inside of LightBurn here, this is the software that I'm using. Let me come over here. Where's it at? Now I got to remember where it's at because clearly I've used this all the time. Hold, please. All right, so arrange is the tab that we want to go into, and you want to hit nest selected, okay? And what this is going to do is pop open a web page for you. It's SVG Nest. However, if you look down here on the bottom, there's a link to go to deepnest.io, which is this website right here. Now I'm running on a Mac, and I did download this software, but it's supposed to help you pull all your shapes in to align them to maximize your material and cut time. What it can read is DXF, SVG, and CDR files, and it does write DXF and SVG files, right? Now, what I've learned is whenever you use the software, when you download that file, it's actually just a .text file. So you'll have to go into um, and edit the prefix, or is it prefix, suffix, whatever the tagging is, and put your own .svg or .dxf on it in order for it to work properly. Okay. So as I stated, we've downloaded this software here. And let me pull it open real quick, and I will drag it over to the screen. I just ignored this thing, to be honest with you. I don't really know what it means to copy to the clipboard. Um, it is what it is. So, and I just hit cancel on that. Now, what we need to do is we're going to save this as a SVG. So we're going to come over here, and I already have the file done. So I'm just going to overwrite it as I've added a couple new designs into it. And SVG, we're going to select that, save, and we're going to replace it. Yes. Okay, so my desktop is a mess, just the same as my garage, but that's okay. So we're going to select the Diamond Painters Ornaments SVG here, and it's going to load all the information into the software here. Now, as far as I know, this kind of helps or connects to the internet as well, and it'll go through several renditions of, sorry, I got a text. Oh, that's gonna have to wait. Um, but it'll try to come up with the best way to make all of these items here fit into our actual sheet boards. Now, what I did learn is originally I was putting all of these shapes inside the sheet itself, and I learned that you actually need to have all your shapes and the size of your board separate if this is how you're going to load your file. However, you can add a rectangle. Man, my nose is bugging me. I apologize. You can add your own cut board in there as well if you want to do that. If you already know your dimensions and know how to place, or you know what items that you want to place inside of that. But we're not going to do that for the sake, because I already have my material kind of mocked up on the board here. So you're going to come over here and it'll show every single shape, the size, yada, 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 all on the side here. And what we want to do is select the actual sheets that we're going to be using for our dimensional cuts. And then it will place each of these items the best way that it can inside nesting it, right? So we imported our file, we selected our sheets, and now we're going to start the actual nesting. So we're going to give it a little bit of time here to kind of do its thing and build an actual nesting document or a file inside of here. And the cool thing is once it's already calculating its stuff, it'll start showing you kind of how it lines it out. You can change some of the settings in there too, which we can go through if you guys are interested on how that works to tell it like, hey, we can overlap our lines here to reduce our cut lines, et cetera, et cetera. One thing I did notice earlier, I had already ran a little test on here, just one, trying to figure it out, and then two, noticing like, or just trying to figure out how everything actually works. But I did notice that inside the board itself, it inside the board itself, it had taken all these shapes and it aligned it to the very edge of the lines. I did just group those items together once we put it back into LightBurn, and then centered it on to my actual cut board to help reduce any possibility of my cuts not coming out properly, just because there was enough space to be had in order to do that, to be honest with you. So we're going to sit here and I will cut back once we get the first kind of layout going, and we'll show you that. And actually, while this is running, so this is the material that I'm going to be using. It's 1/8 inch birch, and I'm going to cut this down to about 17.5 inches. I have a Thunder Nova 2460, um, and this was already about 11 inches wide. So I'm going to cut it down to 17.5 inches, which is what the file size or the box size is inside of my document here. And we'll cut those down. I will be adding another this 3M double-sided adhesive to the other side as well. The idea is they're going to decorate both sides with the little paint bill, or the diamonds. Excuse me. So we'll get that applied here after a while too, and then we'll run it in the laser. But for the sake of this video though, I'm just kind of showing how this Deepnest IO works. And so that way we can all learn together and grow together in our knowledge base. We're going on some time here. Do you want to build a snowman? Okay, we're back. So it's taken a few minutes for it to do its thing, but here's the first rendition. So the cool thing about this software that I've noticed, it's always going to continue to try to find the best layout possible to get everything nested in and maximize your material. So this is the first go of it, and as you can tell, there's a nice little bar here, right here, uh, bar here, right here. There we go. There is a nice little indicator here of how many nesting operations that it's gone through. So as I said, these rectangles here are about 17.5 inches by 11 inches, and it's trying to fit all of my rough approximate size 3x3 ornaments or 3x4 ornaments to maximize not only the material, but also some of the cut down as well. So I can't zoom in on here to show you that some of these lines are actually marrying up. Or they're just extremely, extremely tight, right? But we've got it down into 4 sheets, which is great. And it's going to do a couple more renditions until you tell it to stop. So we're going to let it do about 2 to 3 more, depending on how long it takes here. And then we'll go through and I'll show you the different layouts that it has. And we will go from there to pick our selection and save that as the file that we're going to use for our actual cuts. Okay, so this has been running for quite a while. I had to go take care of a couple things too while this was trying to do its thing. So, however, there are two options available. So, again, this is the first option that it had come up with. And I believe the second option is just a slight variation of this. So let's check that out. And we can tell that our top page here had changed, as well as these guys. But it did kind of condense these items over to the left side as opposed to just the top. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with this option here. And it is still trying to nest another page, I believe. Like I said, it's been kind of going for a while and I've grown impatient. So, but I do like this. These are the amount of boards that I will have cut down and ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and use this. So what we're going to do is hit export and excuse me, allergies killing me. And we're going to save it as an SVG file, right? So, and I'm going to put in here nested diamond painter ornaments. We're going to hit save. And I do believe it went to my desktop. So let's go. Let me transition this. Look at my cute little newborn. He's almost 2 months old now, which is crazy. So this is the new file that we had done. And as I stated earlier down here, you do have to put it in the SVG. So we're going to go ahead and edit that right now. Dot SVG. And we're going to hit add. Okay. So now we can go back to our page here. And I'm going to go ahead and tell this to stop nesting. I think we've got a good layout and we are ready to go. The weird thing about this software is there's no minimizing or anything like that. So you either drag it out or just tell it to close. For now, I'm just going to drag it out of the way. And again, here is all of the original items that I had on here. And all I'm going to do is drag my file from my desktop and put it in here. So one thing I've noticed too is it does not import, for whatever reason, my quote-unquote pages that we have made. So what I'm going to do is these are already all grouped together, and I'm just going to hit center, and then we'll do the same thing for the other 4 pages here if I can hold down the right button. There we go. And then we'll center this one. Actually, we'll just go ahead and pull it to the left align and then center it this way. There we go. And just because I am a weirdo and I already messed it up, we're just going to go ahead and distribute. Whoa. Wow. Okay, well, that doesn't work, but you get the gist. Okay, so what I've noticed is, like I said, on the other files, and it makes sense as to why it's doing it, right? But you can tell how close these designs are getting to all of our cut lines here, and it's right on the edge, okay? So all I'm going to do is just go ahead and pull it over a little bit, and we'll double check our material here. That should be fine. You can come back in here and fine tune if you'd like to. So like, for example, if I didn't like where all of this stuff was sitting, I can just ungroup it all, and I'm going to just tell it to go ahead and move this over here, and maybe we'll pull this whole row down slightly, or maybe not. See, it kind of messes with the layout as it is. So you can take some time though to come in here, clean it up. It is right on the very edge of this, and thankfully our lasers are pretty awesome and precise, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I just don't like, for sanctity of mind, having something directly on my border, which is supposed to be the border of my material. So I'm going to go through here and just double check all of that, make sure that we're not sitting directly on any of that, which everything looks good. So I think this is the best way that we can do that. Again, I just learned kind of how to use this, and we're going to give it a try. I'm going to finish setting up my file here and give it a go. Probably here after a while. I got to take care of a couple other things, but I just wanted to show though. I took a software that I had no idea how to use it, did a quick Google, figured out why, or tried to figure out rather why the file was just showing like a dot text, so it really wasn't showing a dot SVG And I don't remember which video that I had watched, but I did see that you had to change that up to add that in there in order for you to be able to import it back into the software itself. But for all intents and purposes, it does look like it does a really good job of managing getting very nice nesting into your material for whatever size that you put at it. The one thing that I feel like I have a problem with is it did seem to take a while for it to get all that information and try to come up with different instances, which I understand. It is a lot of information. There's over 60 items on this, but just be sure that you follow those steps to save you a lot of time, a lot of effort. If I can help somebody in doing that, then I've done my job. So I appreciate you guys checking this video out. If you guys have any questions or any type of corrections, please let me know. Let's be nice though. You know, none of us are perfect around here, so internet people are wild, but we can all be nice. Share the love. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Appreciate it, you guys. Later.